Welcome to another episode of In the Library of Graphic Literature with Luna and Wallace. Yay!
And here we have the 10 picks of the Marvel
Masterworks. So I went through, these are some of my favorite sort of Marvel books, but these are like, besides all the big ones, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all that, this is my top 10, say next tier down, Marvel Masterworks. So these are some of my favorite smaller titles in that, right?
Well, first one we have is Black Panther.
Yes. And here we go. Have a look at it. Now what I like about this is this has the series written by Don McGregor.
And who else? Rich Buckler and Billy Graham.
And Billy Graham. He was probably actually he's the first black artist to draw the Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And Don McGregor, he wrote some great scripts. As a matter of fact, there's characters and stuff taken from this that you see in the, like Killmonger and stuff like that, who you see in the movies, right?
Oh, is that some covers?
Yeah. Oh, these are the comics and then inside.
Oh,
you can hold it up to the folks a bit closer there if you want.
Oh, keep it open on the page.
Okay.
This one's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was a great series. I loved reading it. It was unusual at the time. It was Black Panther taking on the Klan too, right? So that was ahead of its time. Black Panther was fighting the Ku Klux Klan even back then, right? So great series, and I love the artwork of both of them. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, the very last one was the one that was the first one that I'd bought, and I'd missed out on a lot of the early ones. But once I discovered it, I went back and I bought them all, right? So yeah, a great series. So Black Panther, and this is volume 1 of, there's 2 volumes. The second one in that is also good. It's a Jack Kirby one, but I love this one. Now, this one here, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is volume 3 of Captain Marvel. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Now, of course, this is not the Captain Marvel a lot of people are familiar with today. They think of Brie Larson, but this is the guy we call Marvel. He died of cancer in the early 1980s. They killed the most unusual killing off of a character, and he's one of the few characters they've never brought back from the dead. And they've brought everyone back from the dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, several times. But this one, the art is done by this guy named Jim Starlin, who I absolutely adored, and he does great characters. A lot of the characters he did, like Gamora, created Gamora and Drax, who were used in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. A lot of them first appeared in this series. And Captain Marvel was just great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this guy he had great.
Love the eyeballs.
Great graphic scenes.
People. Oh,
Yeah. Great graphic scenes, stuff like, especially when they'd be showing psychedelic type of scenes. Sterling was the best. The Sterling Man. And I loved this guy stuff when I was younger. Especially, where is it? He became cosmically aware. Da-da-da-da. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. This is. And in it, he's fighting Thanos in this, right? So there we go. There's Thanos. So he was fighting Thanos even before. Thanos became really big in this one. This is where Thanos became Thanos, right? And this one too, he also becomes godlike, right? Okay, our number 3. Now these are not in like 1 to 10. These are all in alphabetical order too, in case people are wondering, are these his favorite? Is this a number 1 to 10? It's just a mixed 10 mixed bag, right?
Okay, up next is Deathclock, the Demolisher.
Deathlock, yeah.
Oh, yes. I just got reminded of the cartoon.
Deathclock?
There's just never mind.
Okay. Anyway,
but yeah. Okay, so Deathlock, the Demolisher, and this is by. Oh, there's a lot of names here.
Yeah, the two main ones were Doug Munch, I think, and
Rich Buckler and Bill Manslow with GMT Mendes.
Yeah. Now the main one was Rich Buckler. He was sort of the driving.
And Mike Zeck.
But the first series, which is this one, is basically Doug Munch. I think it's Doug Munch, and let's see here. Oh, conceived, plotted, and drawn by Buckler, okay. And scripted by Munch, okay. So it was a creation of Rich Buckler, and I loved it. It was a great series. It's a guy who's a cyborg. He's sort of, there was a TV series at the time called $6 Million Man. And so this guy's, I think it was, I'm assuming it was on purpose. He's got the same missing limbs that this guy had in the other series. He has 2 new legs, 1 new arm, and he has all kinds of additional, like a cybernetic eye and all this type of stuff. And he's kick-ass. I loved him. And I actually got to, and this is funny because I was mainly a DC person when I was growing up. And when I was starting to dip my toes into Marvel, I thought, let me look at the stand. I went to the stand looking for something new that they were coming out, and I seen this because it said the origin of. So I thought, oh, this looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to start this. So this is the one that made me fall in love with Marvel. And it's just a great series too. Rich Buckler, yay! And I met Rich when I was down in New York at a convention. He was a fairly nice guy, right? Ready for book number 4 here now is, of course, Doctor Strange. And this is volume 5. Now, I got a lot of volumes of this. Geez, where are they up there? Up to 9, I think? I got 9 volumes, and out of them, I had to pick one, so I picked this one. And the main reason I picked this one is because of this comic in particular. This was number 4. And it's funny because they recently had a Death of Doctor Strange series from Marvel, and I laugh when I seen it. It's just like sure you killed off Doctor Strange way back when, because he defeats death and he becomes immortal, so to speak, in this issue.
I like the art for it.
Oh, the art in this is spectacular. It's a guy named Frank Brunner, and his stuff. Here it is. And so I was, geez, I don't know how old I was. I was probably 14, 15 when I first read this. And love it, like his artwork. It was just like, oh my God, this Brunner guy is killer. He also did a couple of the early Howard the Ducks, too, right? So, and this is written by this guy Steve Englehart, who's also a favorite of mine.
Up next we have Howard the Duck. Speaking
of which. And here, of course, this starts out with, it's Gerber writing it. He was the creator, really, the main creator of Howard. He was the creator of Howard the Duck. But then, but the first sort of appearances of him was just like a guest appearance type of thing in a Man-Thing comic. And then they took it and they ran with it as a independent series. They did it as a short series.
Oh. Where
they had him arriving on Earth. In a comic, unfortunately called Giant Size Man Thing. And it was only later on in life that I started to realize, there's a couple of double entendres there. But at the time, those Giant Size Avengers, Giant Size Spider-Man, Giant Size X-Men, and I didn't even think about it when I was younger, Giant Size Man Thing. Oh yeah, it just sounds cool. But this shows basically Howard as he comes to Earth. This is Frank Brunner again. And he ends up in jail, and he has all kinds of wild adventures. He meets Spider-Man in this one. And this one, Brunner was also, I think he helped co-plot it. But Brunner left a short while later, and they hired this other guy, Gene Colan, who was a lot more famous for doing Dracula and mystery comics and a lot of other stuff. But he was perfect for, he did a great Howard himself. Mm-hmm. There's Howard and the love of his life, Beverly. And what I thought was revolutionary at the time, or at least scandalous, was there were many scenes of him and Bev sharing the same bed. All right?
So this would be number 6?
Yep, on to number 6. And it is, tell the people what it is.
Black Widow. Or is it the Inhumans?
Oh, no.
Black Widow.
Well, the Inhumans, basically. But in that comic it was the two of them, but this is mainly the Inhumans series. And the reason I like to pick this was because I love the Inhumans now. It starts out with some early ones. That's that Gene Colan guy, the guy who did the Howard the Duck. So he was able to do all kinds of stuff. That was Jack Kirby did the art there. So this has like a lot of big artists in it for the time. And there, I love that. I mean, look at these devices, right? I mean, Kirby could do wild looking devices, right? I mean, look at that costume. What the heck is that, right? And then
the black lines are really thick, though.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a lot thicker than
Yeah, yeah, he was big. Now the next one here.
It's cool though.
Now it switches though from here to into the next one. There's this other artist named Neil Adams takes over. He's a more realistic artist. And I had this comic when I was a kid, and I was a big Neil Adams fan. 'Cause this guy could draw great realistic looking comics.
Nice.
And at the time, I mean, a lot of people, it's not as revolutionary today because there are a lot of people who do draw realistic, but at the time he was the best for doing realistic stuff. This is the same guy. The inker isn't as good on this one as the other ones. But it's the same artist. But yeah.
I see.
So yeah. So Neil, good old Neil. Love the Neil. And you can show the folks that there.
An evening wait for death.
And they appear in the Avengers after. And Neil draws them too. And those stories are included in that volume too. I always love the Inhumans, mainly because their leader, that guy with this costume there, Black Bolt. I mean, to me, it was the craziest looking costume. There wasn't any bee on it or anything like that. But he has this cool antenna and these sort of wings underneath his arms. I can remember as a kid, it was just like, what the heck is this guy all about? Now we also we do have our unboxing to do at one point. Will we do that after we go through these? Do you think? What do you think? Yeah. Okay. This is volume 2 of Iron Fist. Now this was another one of the early Marvel ones I got into, and the artist who did it, he's from Canada. He's from Britain originally, but he lives in Canada, or he lived in Canada at the time, a Canadian citizen anyway. And I fell in love with his artwork. In particular, as a matter of fact, this was, I think, this was the first one that I bought.
Oh, that's cool.
I looked at this stand and it looked kind of interesting, a bit of adventure and all that.
You won't hurt that little girl, Ravager. Not while Iron Fist is alive to stop you.
Damn you, Ravager!
Alright then, you'll just have to die.
So it's, great. Great art. And great stories too. And he does all the art throughout this.
I'm coming for you, Chaka. All your tiger goons can't stop me.
So great artwork by John Byrne. And as a matter of fact, I think he does do the whole book, yeah. It's just the two of them. These guys actually went on to do X-Men. They did X-Men after this, these two
Looks
guys.
like the same art.
Yeah, and he became, that's what...
Isn't that Wolverine there, sure?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do believe that's the first time he actually draws them. And then he goes on to draw X-Men himself. There's Luke Cage involved here. Iron Fist teamed up with him later on, right? And they had a comic for a longest while. Iron Fist was a Power Man in Iron Fist. Okay.
Number 7. War of the Worlds.
This is War of the Worlds, Killraven. Now this, remember that guy saying Don McGregor from the Black Panther one? He wrote this too, or he wrote most of it. He wrote from issues 21 to 39, except for a couple of them in between. So he's written all but 3 of them, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All but 6 that are in this. And P. Craig Russell does the art. And P. Craig Russell,
Ooh.
his art
Fancy.
is absolutely stunning. I love this.
Very psychedelic.
I love this guy.
Oh my god.
I love this guy's artwork. It's like the it is something else, isn't it? Hey,
I'll read that. That's gorgeous.
and there,
That's beautiful work.
and I mean, he was now. This is a different artist did this, did that one, but all the rest of
Who's
this
the
guy,
artist? Let me see.
P. Craig Russell.
Oh,
That's another one of his there. But he had an amazing style. I still collect his stuff to this day.
What is it?
Now that's a different guy who did the cover
I was
there.
just
Right?
seeing what it was called again.
Yeah. Well, it was called War of the Worlds, but they eventually changed it to Killraven because he was sort of like the lead character anyway, right? And as a matter of fact, the first Killraven was drawn by that guy Neil Adams who did the Inhumans one. So we have a lot of crossover here, right? But I love this series. I mean, the artwork just was just absolutely. I'll show you a couple more pages, just absolutely stunning, all right? Or like this. Just really. So for all of you, for you out there who are fans of Killraven, you know what we're looking at. So yeah, very cool, super cool. We're getting down to the last two here now.
It's hard to do drum roll on this.
It is, isn't it? Okay, well, the second to last one is Marvel Rarities, Volume 1. Now this has a bunch of different ones.
Doctor Doom!
Doom, 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 doom. Now this also has Doctor Doom and who's the other character? I think Doctor Doom. Oh, and the Watcher, who appears in the What If cartoons series, right? I think it is, yeah. And I like the Watcher cartoons. The Watcher, they're like a race of people who observe Earth from from beyond, but don't want to get involved. And there was one that I always loved. That was this appeared. This comes from the first issue of Silver Surfer. This was the backup
Looks interesting.
episode, and this one he explains the origins of the Watchers, how the Watchers had come down to this one planet and they gave one side weapons and the other side power, nuclear power, and then the other side nuclear power, and they end up destroying each other. So they decide from now on, we won't interfere. What is it they call it in the Prime Directive, like in Star Trek, right? So the Watchers became the type of people who would not interfere. They just watch and write it all down, kind of like reporters, right? So there's a couple of monster ones here. I guess those are all Watcher-like ones. And then, here we go. And then we get into Doctor Doom. And this was a solo issue, which was unusual for its time to have a villain basically have a special issue, right? Now this was drawn by and written by Larry Lieber, I do believe. Larry Lieber. And Larry Lieber did the artwork. Larry Lieber is Stan Lee's brother. Stan Lee is really Stan Lieber, right? And it's okay, but a lot of the poses stuff that are in this are swiped from this other guy, Jack Kirby. But I mean, and exactly too. I could show you all the ones, and the story's still okay, I guess. And now here are the ones, the Doctor Doom ones. Now these were done by a guy, Wally Wood, they call him. I call him Wallace Wood. Because Wally sounds so gross, doesn't it?
Sounds greasy, but yeah.
Yeah. So this was Wallace Wood and his artwork. His artwork was cool. He did great. Great comics. He did really cool. Oh, no, that's a different guy there now. And, there's that Gene Colan guy back again some more. So yeah. Now we've worked our way through all the Marvel Masterworks to the final one, and of course this is in all alphabetical order. So the last one is Volume 2 of Warlock. And you remember the Captain Marvel one, and I said, I love that guy, Jim Starlin, who did that. Same with this. This is the series he did after that.
Oh.
And when he got into this one, who did he bring into this one? But he brings Thanos into this one too. And Thanos became even eviler, and the artwork in this is quite stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And is it there? Yeah, and do you notice that they approved by the Comics Code Authority?
Mm.
But if you look closely, it actually says Cosmic Code Authority.
Oh.
Someone had changed it when it originally came out. They left it like that when they reprinted it, right? So, but this guy, Jim Sterling, his artwork.
I love it so much.
It is cool, isn't it, eh? I mean, like, he was, to me, he was very influential on me growing up in terms of comics. And this character, I loved, Warlock. He was super cool. And the gem he had, the soul gem, which he had on his forehead, could suck souls out of people, which made him, even though he was a good guy, he was kind of a bad guy at the same time, right? And he ends up fighting a twisted version of himself from a future reality. This guy, which is him from the future, so he has to kill himself.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's to me as a kid reading this, it just blew my mind, right? And this one, I can remember buying this as a kid in the store. It was just like, I'd totally freak when I'd get a hold of any of these, right? And so he ends up having to commit suicide. The strange death of Adam Warlock. But yeah, beautiful artwork. Great
Why don't you show the
layouts.
people?
Great layouts. Oh, some of my favorites. I know you people are loving it. Look at that. Good old Pip. Then the final one, the Star Thief. And then we go on to the final thread. And in the end, Adam Warlock also is killed. Also dies, just like Captain Marvel. But they bring him back a few years later, right? So that was it. Those are my 10 favorite Marvel Masterworks, besides all the other ones that I have that, the big series. These are all my second tier ones.
Now time to open the Batmobile.
Yay! So we saved this for last, I guess, just cause we are that way. Okay, you. Batman. I have that series somewhere here too, actually. Oh my God! Look at this. This one is heavily taped into it here. I hope we can get this unboxed before we run out of time, because we're about 25 minutes. Although it's usually about half an hour. Oh, okay, you. That's all you got. There.
Rip it.
Okay, let's tear open the box. Come out, wherever you are. Oh, there we go. There. That wasn't a very elegant unboxing now, was it? No, here's those. Oh look, they got these. Oh, they got one of those screw-in ones. Look. So I gotta get a screwdriver down to do that. Those. But it's a nice little.
A screw.
Yeah.
Don't be screwed. Oh my God.
Yeah. I had a feeling that it was going to be like that. But yeah, it's totally cool. I mean, we could tear this apart and tear that, but it might tear it out. But still, here it is. Now this, eventually once I get it taken apart from this, I'll have this driving around on the table here.
Oh, and I got Robin and Batman.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Is the doors open on it?
I think so. They look like they do. This one,
Feels
yeah.
like it does.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Show the people. Show the people.
Okay.
Does the trunk come up?
No, unfortunately, no.
How about this? The front part? No.
No.
Just the doors. Oh, and it closed.
Yeah. But have a look there, folks.
Why are you closing the door?
Oh, okay. Let's open the door there. Pretty cool, eh? No. I had this in the original Corgi was the one from the 60s I had as a kid. I sure wish I still had it. Anyway, this was a fine bit of unveiling, wasn't it?
Yes, quite, yes.
I guess we'll do another show now next week. Hopefully I'll have some new books, because I mean, a lot of books have been delayed, and there are a lot of books I wanted to buy, but they're being pushed ahead because of all these supply line issues, and you know what it's like. You been there?
No.
Okay. Anyway, that's it, I guess. So in the meantime, check out Thursday Comics, our upcoming one with me and Dennis, and our next episode, which I guess we could always do another list if we don't have any new stuff. Maybe do some makeup tips.
Or get a new book.
For me. Yeah. Okay, well with that, thank you very much for viewing. Keep on reading comics, and thanks for having us over, I guess, eh? Are you gonna dance us out of there?
Thanks for putting up with us.
We love you. Oh.